My phone lit up at 10:52 p.m., and the text from my brother-in-law made my stomach drop. "You're a real selfish jerk," it read. "That necklace you got her at Dad's birthday dinner was way over the top. Now my wife keeps bringing it up and saying I never get her nice stuff. This is all your fault for showing off your new job. Stop making the rest of us look bad." I read it 3 times, my hands starting to sweat. 2 days earlier, everything at the family dinner had seemed fine. But that one gift had turned into a war I never saw coming. Back in February, I lost my job at the warehouse on the 15th. The company laid off 35% of the crew because orders slowed down. For 6 straight months, I sent out 180 applications and sat through 12 interviews that went nowhere. My wife stepped up without ever complaining once. She worked 55-hour weeks at the pharmacy, standing on her feet all day filling prescriptions and dealing with rude customers. We canceled our anniversary dinner in April and skipped her friend's lake house trip in June because we could not afford it. She never made me feel bad. She just came home exhausted, rubbed her sore feet at the kitchen table, and asked how my day went. When I finally landed the new warehouse job on August 10th with better pay, I wanted to show her I saw everything she did for us. I saved every extra dollar for 3 months. On October 12th, I picked up a $425 white gold necklace with a single solitaire diamond from the local jeweler. It was elegant, nothing flashy, something she could wear to work or out for dinner. The jeweler wrapped it in a small box with a ribbon. I gave it to her that night after we ate leftovers. She opened the box at our kitchen table and tears filled her eyes right away. "Babe, this is the most beautiful thing anyone has ever given me," she said, putting it on and hugging me tight. She wore it every single day after that. Her dad's 60th birthday dinner was on October 18th at their house. The backyard smelled like grilled burgers and fresh corn, but we set the table under the string lights while the kids ran around laughing. My wife had the necklace on, and it caught the light every time she moved. Her sister-in-law noticed it first while we passed the potato salad. "Oh wow, where did that come from?" she asked with a big smile. My wife told the whole story right there at the table. How I had been out of work, how she had worked all those extra hours to keep us going, and how the gift felt like things were finally turning around. Her sister-in-law said it was really sweet. Her parents nodded and raised their glasses to my new job. Even my brother-in-law seemed okay. He clapped me on the back and said, "Glad you landed on your feet." We spent the rest of the night talking about football scores and her mom's new cookie recipe. I thought the whole evening was good. We helped clean up the plates, said our goodbyes, and drove home laughing. That text 2 days later changed everything. I showed it to my wife the second she walked in the door. She read it and her face went from confused to furious in seconds. He said what? She grabbed her phone and called him right then. I stayed quiet, but listened on speaker. They argued for 25 minutes. My brother-in-law's voice got louder with every sentence. "You two are being so inconsiderate," he said. "Not everyone can afford to blow money on jewelry like that. You're putting pressure on me now because Lisa saw it and wants something similar. It's humiliating watching her admire something I can't get her." Then he got mean. "You're turning her into a superficial person. The old version of her would never wear something that expensive just to show off at a family event. You're forcing your so-called success on everyone else." My wife sat on the couch with tears streaming down her face. I watched her hands shake as she gripped the phone. My own heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. Sweat trickled down my back. This was the woman who had carried us through 6 months of hell without one complaint, and her own brother was talking to her like that? She finally spoke, her voice cracking but clear. "If you can't be happy that I got one thoughtful gift after the worst year of our lives, then I have nothing more to say to you." She hung up. 3 hours later, her sister-in-law texted her. She had heard the whole fight from the other room and was mortified. She said she never asked for anything and was genuinely happy for us. She apologized 5 times in one message, but the damage was already done. My wife barely slept that night. At 2 a.m., I found her in the bathroom, sitting on the cold tile floor with her head in her hands. I knelt beside her and pulled her close. My stomach twisted into knots and my hands would not stop shaking. The stress sat heavy on my chest like I could not catch a full breath. I kept remembering all the nights she came home from the pharmacy dead tired but still smiled and made sure I had coffee ready the next morning. And our family success does not always bring cheers. It brings jealousy that hides behind family first talk. And when money gets involved, even a kind gesture can start a war at the dinner table. We decided right then we were not spending Thanksgiving with them. We would do a quiet dinner with just her parents. They understood and backed us up completely. But I had already seen the perfect matching bracelet online weeks ago. It was $550, same white gold with a small diamond accent to go with the necklace. It was supposed to be for Christmas. After that fight, I went to my laptop at 3 a.m. and placed the order anyway. It arrives next week. My brother-in-law can rage all he wants about expectations and superficial stuff. I clicked confirm on the order and felt a cold calm settle over me. He can stay mad forever. My wife carried us through the worst months of our lives, and she is getting that bracelet no matter what he thinks.